I didn't know it was red. I got my glasses on, still can't see it.
Yeah, 'cause we need those two. Those two.
I couldn't hear you.
No, we need you
You
guys.
guys to come up here.
Oh.
All kinds of stuff like that.
Scoot on in.
Yeah.
Agenda. Is that? This is it.
That's
No,
from
that's the new one.
committee meeting.
Oh,
Here. Oh, it's right here.
oh, did I just take yours?
Nah, she don't get one. I thought we needed her.
Okay.
It was a confusing situation. No, we just-
Make more copies, right? Unless she, okay, right.
All right, so we're gonna call to order this planning commission. We got Scott. Here. David.
Here.
Andrea.
Oh, Angela. sorry.
Angela, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Sam. Here. Sherry.
Yes.
And Meryl.
Here.
All right, we're here. I have to check to make sure. Chris, are you aware if this was in the paper 3 times?
No, this all just happened.
Or if the neighbors were alerted to it, they have to be
Yeah,
notified.
yeah, I
too.
do know the
Yeah.
neighbors have to be alerted. Did you speak with the neighbors?
No, this really just happened, so we're starting from here. Just-
All
Yeah.
right, well, then we're gonna have to table this.
I don't,
There's null and void, you have to have 3
I
weeks.
don't, yeah, I'm not sure your process here.
And all the neighbors have to get a letter.
Yeah, I do in
Yeah.
Freedom, but I don't know here, but, so can he speak and show you what he's trying to do?
Yes,
Okay,
you could explain to us what's going on, but we can't do anything.
And we can't make any
so,
So what can we do?
right,
Let's get that so we know what to do next time.
You can tell us what you wanna
Yeah,
do,
you can
and we
just
can sit
explain
here and
to
look
us
pretty
what-
and listen.
And then what?
Then we advertise it for 3 weeks in the newspaper, and you have, whoever's gonna contact the neighbors by letter, like Sheila and Max said. And then we'll come back.
We have to,
No, we will handle
No,
it.
we'll take care of it.
Yeah, you're just gonna let us know what your intents are,
Gotcha.
and then we'll have to reconvene probably at our next council
Next
meeting,
council.
unless we do a special meeting, but.
When's the
We
next
could,
one?
we could do a special meeting for, I mean, if
2
we,
weeks.
we gotta give.
3 weeks.
Gotta be
Oh, 3,
3 weeks,
sorry, yeah.
but, yeah,
do you want me to update him what you're trying to do? You want me,
go ahead.
okay, so he's got 2 lots, I believe he bought from you guys, the village,
Mhm.
and they're both like, 80 frontage, and he needs to combine them to build a house. He needs 80 frontage, and then you gotta come in on the sideline, so he really needs 100 feet frontage.
Right.
So he needs to combine them, and they're gonna put up a home there, and it's the corner, right, as you turn up?
No.
no,
No.
it's,
On the opposite side.
Oh, okay,
It's up a little bit on the left.
okay,
it's between the 2 houses, the first 2 houses on the turnpike side of Maple Grove Road.
okay,
As you're going up, the first 2 houses, there's 2 lots in between them, and I purchased those.
okay. So he's just needing an approval to,
So you already own both of them?
yeah,
Yes,
According to our zoning, you need 100 foot footage
right,
to,
and when I purchased them, when I came to the meeting to purchase them, you know, that, we discussed that, and you were the council president at the time, I believe, and, you know, we didn't have enough to build on 1 lot. And you know, it was brought up that, you know, the reason you guys were selling the lots were to get more people in Windham. And we said, we can't build on 1 lot with the, you know, with what the zoning was. So you said, you know, you'll be able to combine 2 lots, so.
Which we just did because they built that house over there, they're trying to sell now, was 2 lots that we combined, so we
Yeah.
could build
this
that
shouldn't be
house.
any issue, it's just a matter, we have to
Right, yeah, I understand
everybody's
that, yeah.
procedures and get it 3
3
reads,
weeks, it's gotta run,
and get letters out.
yeah,
But yeah, it makes sense to me. combine them so you can have,
Okay,
anyone have any discussion? It seems pretty
Probably use the
clear to
3
me.
week delay.
So-
They gotta run it.
yeah,
We're looking at around the April 22nd.
Okay.
We should be able to have everything set
Okay.
to have another meeting.
Can you get the parcel numbers for the
I
next
have
meeting?
them.
You
I
have them?
have the parcel.
They're right
I
here.
have the parcel.
They're on there,
They're on
David. Yeah.
No.
No, they're on here. I
They're
got
on
it.
this.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And they're on the agenda.
They're on the agenda.
Oh, can you pass that? Thank you.
Not far. Sorry.
Alright, that makes life easier. Cause I actually got a hold of Wendy. Wendy, the one we sold the lots to? Or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wendy,
And she's gonna give me the list of when and who they were sold to, so, cause Brian and I talked about that, so we can figure out
who needs to get
who we need to
back.
buy back from. So I just make sure to keep this one on the radar.
I got all that.
Oh, you already got it? Oh,
So can he be dismissed?
Yep.
Max?
Yes, ma'am.
We're good to come back April 22nd, or do we wanna
Yes, we'll
confirm
set
that?
it, we'll set up, I'll have Chris or, one of us will
Okay.
reach out to you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Question for you on
Yes.
this. What do I need to find here?
Okay, so,
Joe's.
okay.
congratulations.
Yeah, feels kinda cool.
No, that's not today. That's a stack I got. So should I go back?
Yeah, you gotta get now.
All that you gotta do all stuff.
That's on camera, I'll leave it on this.
Good job, Sam.
Show our friends.
Yeah.
Thanks for participating.
Call them.
I'll handle the rest.
Okay.
So that's all you.
No, I think I'm gonna,
Then I'll move back.
looks like I can just put it in the form.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
They're in the bottom, or-
One person on the third floor over there, so she already, we're waiting.
Nope, that's committee.
I don't have.
I don't need it.
Normally they're on.
I think she might be working on it still. I think she
Yes,
had to
yes.
add, she had to add something. That's why she left.
So that's why we were like, we can,
It's all.
The
Yeah,
abandoned
no, it's
refrigerator.
Okay, thanks, Ben.
yep,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
David, so you talked to, Windham Police about the road and they said they're missing the barrels for the,
Fire truck.
Windham
water
Fire
game?
Department.
Water game, yeah,
Fire department.
fire department.
You said
Give
please,
us
you got
that
me all
number.
messed up.
Your
Yeah,
email
so,
there, I had
Rich
that.
Gano actually
Just go ahead and read
donated
it.
out, put it that way, donated the, water barrel stuff to Randolph Fire Department. That Wyndham's had since the beginning of time when they created it. So I have to get a hold of Randolph and see if they'll let us borrow it again and talk to Nick and see if he's got interest in it.
Okay, well, I'd like to know if he has interest in it, if he does, then maybe we'll purchase it if we can get the information, and if he can, that way we don't have to worry about it.
Cause I mean, we can even make our own, all it is cable poles and a small
But we need to
peg.
know that they're interested in doing it.
Right. Oh,
Sit back and laugh.
you never know. It'd be fun.
Where on there?
I don't know if she made enough for it.
I did, I have.
Yeah, we had to pull an extra chair.
Terry,
It's Cheryl, Terry, and me.
Here.
Well, that should be on there.
Did I what? Yeah, like 3-4 inches, yeah. I went to, it looks like crap now, I've been busy all day, but I went to, I didn't tell.
Here, if you want them, you can have them if you don't tear them.
Hey, thanks, I already got that one. That's mighty nice of you. I was cute at one point.
Oh, you gotta pass it over, let's see.
That was the fire truck, me and my mom.
Good.
I never played, I always sat on the bench, but at least I was there.
It's like a little farm.
Wow! Taking those back.
That was a fire truck. That was the first fire truck.
Oh, and the wood, yeah.
Mac, are there more, agendas up there?
At the end, do you have any extra agendas?
Yes.
Awesome. What's this?
Minutes or just agendas?
It was from, just agenda.
At
Maybe, probably.
You got the old one, Sheila? Did you grab an old one, or last month?
No, I just.
You didn't get one?
Tonight,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
The new computers don't come with boards.
I know, mine doesn't either.
I know.
But the highlight is missing.
I thought it was scary.
I thought so.
Which book?
Thanks, son. Yeah.
I'll just share with her.
Here, I'll give you mine.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Would anybody else like an agenda? One was a minutes and one was an agenda. Minutes from last month.
I think that's agenda, right?
You should have February. Which one do you have, Sheila? Yep, you have February. That's okay. Give that one to her and then this package yours. Yep.
Oh, I see.
I'm gonna be up all night.
Yeah, you need that one.
Oh,
Oh, she did that. Oh, boy.
I said, I can't go off, I'm not gonna everybody call off. Because we'll have a lot of things.
Sheila, before, when it's over, can you stick around for a second? I gotta talk to you about something.
Yes.
Thank you.
Give her a chance. Yeah.
How you doing, Steve? Could be better, huh?
Don't mislead you.
It's another day's
Their hearts-
paradise.
Their hearts are reading.
So he needs to do that.
Rather get them all laid out. Ready to present. Yep. I agree.
Yeah. It's just, yeah.
I feel like I know what I'm doing.
Either of you. Oh my God.
You want something right there?
Okay.
Oh, we are. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so still. Oh, that's good.
No, I already have two.
We got.
Not for that, but I've already had two in other areas.
Yeah. He's, he can't feel, because you don't have enough time. You don't buzz wise.
So he's, his own.
Yeah.
Alright, so we can do it. We do it. And the other, the one.
There could be one, 5 or 6 becomes one. One part. We gotta get it through, so.
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to see you fall, because I'm gonna have to go down trouble.
Roll call, we'll start. Scott Garrett,
Yes.
Sherry Pennington, Cheryl Belknap,
Yes.
Terry Altier,
She's not here.
Marilyn Gage,
Here.
David Belknap.
Here.
All right, we have, prior to speak to council, we have chief, you have some accommodations to do?
I do. So, the last meeting we had discussed and had given an accommodation to Sergeant Hartlob, and we're planning on giving Officer Deputy Kulig an award. And we discussed it a little bit there at that time. On August 19th of 2023, he responded to an infant that wasn't breathing. The infant had been exposed to fentanyl, and Officer Kulig at the time was able to administer 2 doses of Narcan and get the baby to come back around. And eventually we did interview mom and found out that she had fentanyl and arrested her, and she was successfully prosecuted, and the child is okay. So I just want to give him a medal, a life-saving medal, and accommodation for doing so.
It's not mine.
You're arrested between the 2 cops.
So you're gonna drive us to that?
Chief, thank you, appreciate it.
It's my first day.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Depending on you.
Oh, thanks. Counted into my check. And thank you all, I appreciate your time, thank you so much.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your support.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the February 2025 regular council meeting. Scott?
Yes.
Sherry, yes. Cheryl?
Yes.
David?
No.
Marilyn?
Abstain.
Terry's absent.
Fiscal officer's financial report. There's supporting documents in all packets that were given to council. Just to touch base on a couple, income and property tax collected year to date was $20,921.02. Total revenue collected for year to date. Now I will say this isn't March 25th. This was done on Friday. There has been some things that have come in that are not included in this. So that's $295,052.12. Expenditures year to date is $409,284.86. Fund status report is attached to your packet.
Do you have any old business?
The only old business is we did have a Fun in the Sun planning meeting at 5 earlier today. We're starting to get some momentum going, so things are starting to move along. So again, I'll continue to send out messages and invite people in the community. We also have things on our website posted when the next meetings will be, activities that are going on around it, and vendors that we are looking for. And we'll also post them at the stores as well in the community.
Anyone else? All right, 6, council president's report.
All All right, the only thing that I have is we're continuing to work on a grant for, some improvements in the park. It is a grant that is about $42,000. We did put a survey on the, Windham, Facebook page, asking just to vote yes or no on specific things that you would like to see in terms of improvement in the park. One thing that we did not have on there was improvements around the ball fields and those type of things. So we are going to add that and get some more, send the survey back out again and get some additional, because we have to have it in by June 2nd. So we still have several things to do, like justification for the grant, the purpose for the grant. Do we have people in the community that are going to be able to help support the grant as we make these improvements to it? So that's the only thing that I have.
Thank you. Dispatch, police, fire. Terry's not here, so she didn't give anything to anybody.
No.
So we'll need this month's next meeting. All right, mayor's communication. I need someone to reach out to the school and start the communication for the summer working. I spoke with Superintendent Dover, and they're looking into it on their end, but I just wanna make sure that we're in the field of trying to get some summer working here. I know last year there was something with the paperwork that got messed up. I don't know who on their end or with the county or something, but we didn't end up getting any kids. I'd like to try and get that back in there so it could help out with a lot of stuff around town. We have a lot of work for them to do, so.
Hey Mayor, just to touch on that, I spoke to Carly Spencer at Portage County Job and Family Services dealing with this youth, and she sent over a new agreement for 2024 and 25.
Alright, thank you.
And we won't have our usual this year, right, Ryan?
No.
Is she too old now?
Yeah.
She's past the age of one.
So it's just who we have. Other than that, I do ask that when council members come up here, that they set up an appointment to speak with anyone in the building. That's anyone. These people have their employees, they have jobs to do. I prefer that they do their jobs and they can set aside time to speak with you guys. I know you guys have important things to speak with them about, but you gotta set it aside because they're getting mixed up with stuff and jobs aren't getting done sometimes, or there's potential for jobs not to get done when you're just popping in and popping out. So I just ask that everyone set up in a schedule with someone up here. Other than that, we're good to go on that. If you need your mail, just ask Marie for it at the window. She will gladly get that for you. I had a question from a council member about the spending limit on for the heads of the water and sewer, whatever it is. It is $3,000. They are allowed to spend that. And the thing I have an issue with and what I'm monitoring now, which nobody's not been allowed to spend $3,000, is I took a journey over to the garage when Robbie was cleaning it up. There's empty cases of all kinds of tools over there, like plenty of empty cases. Tools nowhere to be found. We have no idea where these tools are. We did purchase them at some point in the years past. When and where they are, who knows? But I will make sure that I monitor, and I will make sure that Ryan monitors where they're doing, where things are going and what's coming in and what's coming out. So if I ask him to just watch and see what people are purchasing, that's all I want, is to watch and see what's being purchased. It's not, you can't get this, you can't get that. It's what's coming in, what's coming out. So whenever you guys ask or somebody in the community asks where this money's going and what's going on, we have an answer for them. I can't just let people cowboy around and buy stuff and we don't know what's coming in and out, and at the end of the day, somebody's line's on a chopping block, and that's Ryan ultimately. So if he doesn't watch what they're doing, he can't watch what they're doing.
So can I make a suggestion on that?
Yes, sir.
A couple years ago, whenever we hired Ryan, we asked for inventory, current inventory list of what we had in each department. I don't think we ever received that. That would alleviate most of the issues. And then also, whenever Deanne gets a receipt, it gets put into a file for that department. And we can go back and, you know, cross-reference the inventory at the end of the year and say, hey, we got this, we have a receipt for this. We don't have this, we have a receipt, where'd it go?
Oh, no, we're good with it now, I'm just saying previously, but in order to keep that, we gotta keep an eye on stuff, so he's just gonna keep an eye on it. People had purchases, there's stuff that we didn't need, so he's kept an eye on that, he's done a good job with that, and I'm satisfied with the results of that. Whether people like that, they can't get certain things, that, you know, that's here nor there. I have to look out what's best for the village, and we can't just go spending money on stuff that's gonna sit on the shelf and we don't need it, so.
I just had one quick thing.
Yes, sir.
While we're working on that list, but Scott, you correct me if I'm wrong. The reason that was set for $3,000 is so they wouldn't have to have permission to order the chemicals that are used every single month. That's not like a blank check, so you just go out and buy whatever you want. That was so that they could buy the chemicals, cause caustic's over $2,000.
Right.
So that was the purpose, I believe, of that.
And you gotta oversee the departments to make sure that we're keeping it in the budget.
Right.
Without a doubt.
So
So you're right. I mean, those bulk loads that come in, you gotta get
And
it.
they're purchased every month, so.
Yeah, that's part of the resolution that you guys passed in 2008. I was just making sure when it was brought up that, hey, we have a resolution that says they can spend up to $3,000 and it goes to council president or financial.
Yeah.
So if it's gonna go through the mayor and the village administrator, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we should update the resolution then, to have that in the wording.
Well, the Ohio Revised Code mandates that those department heads work under the village administrator anyways. So all he's doing is overseeing them. I think what you guys passed in 2008 was more of a
Procedural thing.
procedure, exactly, to allow these purchases to be made so that every time it needs to be made, you don't have to go to council first. So they work under him. He oversees those departments by both the village code and by the Ohio Revised Code, and then he reports to the mayor. So, and they can set bylaws and policies as long as they're not contradictory to anything else, which is if they want them to get approval, which they probably should, before they make a purchase, unless it's an absolute emergency, then it seems proper.
So we should have policies in place.
I mean, everything, like I said, everything's going well. Everything that needed to be purchased has been purchased, minus a few things that didn't need purchase, so that's about it. All right, and then the other thing was, there have been reports in the village about the water and the water quality. The guys did go out last Thursday and Friday, I believe, to flush the hydrants, to get that cleared up. I haven't heard any complaints back from them yet, so I believe everything's going good with that so far. They're gonna make sure they stay on a regular, maintenance schedule with that, and we should be good to go with that, and we'll keep an eye on it. Finance, David?
Motion to approve fiscal officer's expenditures as received and expected to date 2025 and approve the bills as received.
Second.
Second that,
Scott,
yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
Marilyn,
Yes.
David.
No, and I'm only saying no on this stuff because I didn't have time to review any of this as everybody else did. They just got this, so put that on record for that.
But this bill's from the beginning of the year till now.
Yeah, but
So
till
those
now,
all be
so
you.
anything Since I got my
Missing
last
husband fee
fund
right now.
status, I have not seen anything. Motion to approve fund status report as received ending 2/28/25.
Second.
Scott,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
Marilyn,
Yes.
David.
No.
Sherry, yes.
Sorry, you seconded. I apologize.
Alright, thank you, David. 10, we have utilities, Maryland.
Okay, motion to approve resolution R 2025-02, a resolution authorizing an Ohio natural gas supply agreement with Interstate Gas Supply, which is IGS, and declaring an emergency. Do you need to reverse that? No.
Well, we have to suspend the rules.
We do.
Okay, motion to suspend the rules. Second.
I'll second
And then motion to approve.
She's got to call.
She's got to do the roll.
Scott,
that. Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
Marilyn,
Yes.
David.
Yes.
Okay, and B is also motion to.
Well, you gotta do a motion to approve it.
Okay, so this is all backwards then. So now is the motion to approve the resolution R 2025-02?
Yep.
Okay,
I'll second
and
that.
then a second.
Scott,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
Marilyn,
Yes.
David.
No.
Okay, the next one is motion to approve another resolution R 2025-03, resolution authorizing an Ohio natural gas or natural electricity supply agreement with Interstate Gas Supply, IGS again, and declaring an emergency. Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Scott,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
Marilyn,
Yes.
David.
Yes.
And now it's the motion to approve the resolution R 2025-03.
Second.
Second.
Yes. Second.
Scott,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
Marilyn,
Yes.
David.
No.
And finally, C is the third read of ordinance number O 2024-16. An ordinance to suspend the water tap in fees as contained in section 923- or .02 of the Windham Utility Code effective April 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025, and set it at a fixed rate. Second.
Before we vote, did we pass this at the last meeting?
You said that it needed a third read at the last meeting, so we added
Okay.
that.
Is that
I
the
thought we
correct?
amended the,
I don't think it's the correct number.
at the February meeting, I thought we amended the,
Fees.
It is.
this thing, the agenda to pass it then. I thought you said that we could amend it
No, I have
and,
mine.
pass it then even though it wasn't on the agenda.
We have to look back to see.
Mm-mm.
So I remember specifically asking, can we alter the agenda to be able to pass this resolution? or ordinance, I should say.
Was it due for third read last month?
Yeah, it was, yeah,
Okay.
cause we started in December.
I don't know.
No, we
Agree
did,
to
we
that.
passed, we did it last month, it just wasn't on the,
It wasn't on there
It was on
officially.
the agenda, but
Okay,
we
so
did amend the agenda.
The
and
third
voted.
read was last month
yeah,
then.
so we're.
Yes,
we're
and we
done.
passed it.
So, okay, that one's already passed, all right. On February twenty-fifth,
25th or 28th.
25th.
We already did that. That's what we should.
Oh,
Yeah, cause I already sent it to Mitch after it was approved.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right, so Marilyn, you're done.
Okay.
11, safety and service, Sharon.
An ordinance establishing chapter 404 of the codified ordinance of the village of Windham entitled impoundment, chapter 404C, exhibit A. And this is just a motion to, or is this just a read, or is this
This is
First read.
First read.
first read? This is the first read.
This is supposed to be 4. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to
Oh,
be.
there it is.
We gotta amend this, it's supposed to be 2025-4.
Yeah. It just passes.
First read.
Read there.
Okay.
Okay, so we're just amending the agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So this is a whole new chapter then, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a draft, if you have any changes you wanna make, just like,
Okay,
like even the last section, the penalties haven't been set.
okay.
Yeah, if you see anything, after you read it, just give me an email or something.
I just have a question real quick, cause it's popped out to me. Do we have a boot, chief?
Do we have a boot?
Yeah. Okay, so are we gonna get one or should we remove that?
We can leave it in,
Okay,
as part of,
just for future?
in
Okay,
case you do get one.
that'd be kinda cool. Put it on the card.
You like that one?
I do. Like getting called out as the president of the office.
There you go.
Oh, you're trying
I don't think we're too far to
So
that.
just make a motion to approve the
There's
first
boot
to.
round.
Yeah,
this.
in your own driveway.
Rough, wasn't it?
All right, I'd like to make a motion to approve on the first read
We,
of ordinance 2025-4.
Is it an emergency?
no, we don't. I thought that said pass already, we didn't pass that already. We're good.
I'm so
So
confused. Are
first
we
read?
doing?
No, we're good,
We're good.
we're good.
Okay.
There was some work issue, we're fine.
Okay, so we are doing 3 reads?
Yes,
We are.
And we have opportunities to change it?
yep,
Okay.
Yeah, it's a draft.
we're good to go.
All right.
All right, 12, economic development, Terry,
Nothing.
she's not here. Well, I'll,
Resolution.
A resolution authorizing the resolution number 2024-4, a resolution authorizing the village police department to donate a wooden bench to the Hope Town Recovery and declaring an emergency.
Second.
Second.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Yes.
Okay.
Scott,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
Marilyn,
Should it, okay, never mind. The one we just changed to 4, it was an ordinance, not a resolution, right, sorry. Yes.
I could have said that.
David?
I'm
No.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah. I really don't have anything in personnel, just, something to discuss in committee, and I'll wait till next month.
All right, thank you. Parks and Rec, Cheryl?
I think everything that's been said about the Parks and Rec, about the meeting that we had, that there, we are gonna be looking after we know how much is in the parks fund, to know what we can do, and like Sherry said, we're gonna be taking people's suggestion on what can be done in the park, and that's a good thing.
Any plans for flowers yet?
We're not going to
Yeah.
purchase them
Yeah.
this year.
That's,
No, go ahead.
no, what, we did speak with Hot Stove, because they're the ones that use the park the most. They did have a plan to put in drainage for the field to try and help it out, so, I mean, that is something that they want done on their end, so we're looking into it. Sam and Ryan, I believe, looked at it. There, we have a bunch of volunteers that are gonna help, but we still have to go through the process and hope we get the funds for it, so that's gonna be happening. Anybody else have anything for Parks and Rec? 15 Planning Commission, we will set a date for the Fortneys on April 22nd. Is when we will have that planning commission meeting, 6 p.m.
You wanna do it at 6? We
I mean,
Maybe
we
just
could
start
do
the
it at
regular
5.
meeting afterwards?
I mean, yeah, we can just do it, it shouldn't take long, really all we're doing is approving it and we're
Yep.
moving on, so. Alright, Chief?
We basically have, obviously, the ordinance tonight, that read for the impound lot. We spoke with, and then the individual who was doing our towing, who's willing to continue doing it. We're gonna set some parameters on what that is and, how we're gonna do it. I'm not sure that we're gonna meet the criteria where we have to bid it out the first year. So, he's been doing it for us for how many years? So, I know we sat down with him, he had some general ideas. I wanna sit down with him myself to see what this is all gonna entail, cause I think he wants paid up front for each tow, which I don't know if that's gonna be a possibility for us to do at the end of each month if we're holding on to cars. So, but there's some give and take there that I think we can work out for that. So, like if we have some junk cars, we may be able to work out where he's giving us a deal to get those to the junkyard. So, I will have more details at the next meeting. Everything is up and running over at the police department other than the impound lot. It's been going pretty good. The new hire has been excellent. He's actually brought some of the other individuals up in their standards,
It's
which
a
has
mustache.
been very good. A fireman thing.
He's
So,
very motivated.
He is.
I like it.
Yeah, he's good. So, we did go live today with the camera and this afternoon. So we'll see what that gets us.
And today, yeah, today's the first day, right, of the actual getting tickets.
You have it on the main drag, or?
So I was out for about 2.5 hours and I had about 6 that I could see should be good, so we'll see.
And you're staying off the roadway, right?
Yes.
I just-
I'm in the middle of the road.
Well,
so
I mean,
spin around
hey.
real fast.
I know you probably don't wanna wear a safety vest, cause it really throws you out there, but just
Might
wanna
work
make
better.
sure you guys are safe. Gotta ask.
Oh, we did. The other thing, we did get the light installed in the front. The Google Maps is not gonna do it until we have a sign up, so they won't list it until we get a sign.
I thought it was updated.
I did too, I thought I seen it on my GPS on my car.
Last I checked, they said that we had to have something on, maybe when we put the police sign from the door up, they did it, but they told us until we had a sign, they weren't gonna update
It's
it.
still Main Street.
So, once we get the sign, they'll do it.
I
Where we
did
at?
talk to Stephanie about that there, she didn't get back, I sent her, remember we measured it and all that,
Mm.
so she said she's gonna work with the kids and see what they can come up with.
Okay.
She's not sure, that's, all that stuff Sam donated, still believe there's still some wood left over from that, so we'll use that.
Nice.
Did we get the phone issue figured out?
Yes.
So they, like, when you call, which number is it for, not emergency to?
Yeah,
police
that's
department?
all that was worked out. They came in the next day and even the call box had somehow gotten screwed up, but it's all fixed and everything is good, so.
So is it the 2211 or 2212 that goes to the police
So
department?
2212 is to our menu, or if we have somebody in the office, they answer it. The 2211 is the non-emergency number that goes to Streetsboro and they dispatch the officers for non-emergencies.
Okay,
So,
perfect.
which I'd like to get that put out more because my cell phone gets called a lot. And it also,
Well, yeah.
they call the 2212 number thinking that they're going to get a hold of us, and if we're not in the office, they get the menu.
Right.
So I think maybe we need to put it out again, if we could stuff it in a water bill or something, just to remind people, because they're constantly asking me about whether the 2211 is the non-emergency.
I could have Marie put it in that box, the comment box, or
Okay.
whatever, and we'll just go.
Maybe we could even incorporate it into the new sign too,
Yeah, that'll
so that way when people drive by. And then the doorbell. I know you were working on that, you had said at one point a Ring doorbell, but that goes to obviously phones.
So what we have right now is I got a 30-day trial with Verkada.
For who?
Verkada.
Oh,
The school uses them, and I actually got a call from them a week ago, and they shipped out a camera and a intercom system for the lobby, so that if there's anybody in the building, you can push it and it'll ring through to the phones.
okay.
And they'll be able to answer. That's a 30-day trial period, which eventually they'd like to maybe do all the cameras, but I told them we just entered into a contract with somebody, but this system is nice. I don't know what the price of it is or anything like that, but it does facial recognition and everything, so.
Maybe we could talk to Howland Alarm and see if they have anything comparable if the price is too much.
But yeah, so
Or just standard.
they installed today, and I know that, like, the phone camera, the mayor's had issues seeing some of that on the original one. The one I put on there today is amazing, so.
All right, that all right?
Yep.
Thank you, sir. Zoning, Chris?
Okay, so we issued 3 permits already this month. We did 2 roofs, and I had a lady had a permit expire, so we went by the rules and reissued a new one for an accessory building. Had a contractor call me about a guy in the new homes area, want an ad on the back of his garage. We told him they can only use 30% of their backyard, so you gotta figure out your backyard and figure out the math. And then take your old garage and build on, you gotta go by the square footage, so explained that. And then I talked to the new owner of the bank, I don't know if anyone's talked to him, and his plan is to make it more of a professional building. He said maybe law offices, but he's not gonna jump yet. He's gonna try and get some stuff together first. And if Chuck can elaborate a little bit, so what we're doing with Fred, you wanna explain, is it a variance or not? What we're supposed to be doing here with the land, or the lots that are being combined? those parcels we were discussing.
Well, you have your process you're gonna follow,
Okay,
and the
is
rest of
that
it goes through the.
Through the paper, okay, okay. So there's that, all right.
No, with that posting, is it just a paper, is it our set 5 or 4, whatever we approved through the ordinance for our postings? Like the Renaissance Center, or wherever we had the gas station, like we had our set spots that we had to update last year.
Yeah, I will tell you that when I was at the regional planning meeting, you weren't there, right, the last one, they're getting ready to
Move,
update something where you only have to post it actually on your Facebook page, all of your stuff, but they're not there yet. And I think it's sometime at the end of April. And I wanted to look into that a little bit more, and I'll have more details at the next meeting. But yeah, they're changing a few things there.
Like Portage or ORC?
ORC's in the making. I learned that last week in training. They said by the end of the year, you won't have to put it in newspapers anymore.
Yeah, that's.
So I think everybody's through
We
the
know what
training.
Bob's
That's
Go to your own
what
website.
So,
I wanna say it's supposed
yeah.
to go into effect sometime in April, but I'm not 100%, but
Just
yeah.
the world.
But anyways, that doesn't answer the question for today, so.
So, question though, so with our situation with, the.
It doesn't answer, it doesn't resolve
We'll
that.
go, we'll go
but-
through and post it
yeah.
whenever advertised. I need to post that meeting in the paper. We should have a block like we have on the door here that has all the yearly ones on there at all those locations. We just have to keep checking and making sure that they're there and they didn't rip them down.
And what about the neighbors? I mean,
You just have to go to them, so I had to do this with the street sign thing, you just go to them, explain to them what's gonna be going on, if they have an objection to it, then we have to note that there's an objection.
okay,
And then
so should we send letters? That's kinda how it happened, not where I live. They send us all letters.
Yeah,
So we'll issue, how far out do you go?
we
Is
have,
what-
there's 2 neighbors,
Oh, that's it?
there's nobody else around.
Just immediate
Oh.
neighbors.
So, okay, so you might have to tell me on that one.
It's only people that it's gonna be affected.
All right, that's it.
Quick, do we wanna add the police department to one of the posting spots since it's a public building?
It should be on there.
Well, no, we had to remove it
We
because
removed it,
we
yeah.
were not occupying the police department last year.
Yeah, we can put that back.
So we can update it. We have, I think it's a 3-read deal.
Yes, sir. All right, thank you, Chris. Housing on Demel?
Just a couple of things, real quick. 8 applications that's been sent in so far, and a couple of 6 places that I recently inspected and passed with flying colors, of course. Other than that, that's it.
Are we involved in the court case with that? Like, I guess Miss Pat is going to court on Thursday regarding her rental, the whole whatever's going on over there in 9515?
It's just the information that I gave her.
Okay. I didn't know if the
I'm not
village
in-
was
I
attending. or-
don't go to any court
Okay.
cases, that's not.
I was just curious.
Yeah, but the information, all the stuff that was wrong with it and things, whatever she got from me, she can take it further and use that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, 19, village administrator.
I have nothing.
Yeah, solicitor.
Nothing.
Ready? Last chance for any members to speak. Anyone? I do know, since he's here, I hope you don't mind if I mention your situation.
Oh,
All right, so we have, Steve here, he's a resident, his electric was cut by, Brightspeed when they came in. He was fortunate enough to have the funds to do it himself, but he's looking for reimbursement, and he's yet to hear back from them, so do you have any update on that?
So I will, let me look at my text real quick. Each time I get a complaint, or not, I shouldn't say complaint because that's the wrong way to say it, a problem with the project, I make sure and reach out to Rodney, who is the overall contractor hired by Brightspeed. And I think he's in South Carolina or something like that. But each time I send him one, he says, he asks, what's the information, the address, phone number, stuff like that. And he says, I'll get it taken care of. He was supposed to have somebody Sunday to snow fence everything to eliminate the trip hazards, and then they will have to get back to fill dirt, seed straw, and I said, what about like your issue, Sheila's issue? There's a big hole across the street from my mother's house that is a trip hazard. He said that he would be addressing it and reaching out to the homeowners that I gave numbers to take care of the issues and reimburse like you for your electric issue. Has he done that? Have you heard from him at all?
It's like, I don't exist.
Okay, and Sheila, you haven't heard nothing?
Do you
So I don't
guys
know.
have his contact information?
I'm not calling Rodney, that's not my job.
Alright.
That's
No,
who
it is-
hired him.
Yeah, I've been trying to get everything, and like I said, I have a full chain of all the documents that I've sent over. Like the one I sent, I'm just clicking on it now. Was you the one that had Joe Dickey Electric out?
Yes.
Okay, so I sent that to him on Wednesday, March 12th at pretty much 8 in the morning.
It still happens.
And his response was, funny you text me, I was calling today. I had one of our field managers come check stuff out yesterday. We have some cleanup stuff to do as well. I'll send these over to get fixed and corrected. And that's what he keeps telling me, is he's gonna get it handled. So I don't know, I'm not really in position for legal. I don't know if we should have Charles reach out to him or how we should approach this, but if I had over $2,000 out of pocket, I'd be pretty upset too, and I'd be very vocal.
They didn't call Oops to begin with?
Well, that's another story, that they did, but they didn't follow, they didn't wait, or Oops cleared it before, you know, they were there, or they didn't even come out and check it, or they just drilled where they wanted. So I followed up with Public Utility Commission of Ohio, and they referred me back to Oops. And it's just like when you try to talk to the Attorney General or anybody else in the state, it's a back and forth. I'm gonna push you to this person, transfer you, I'm gonna push you back to this person because it's their responsibility. So HOCO, or however you say it, was no help to me. 811 just took a complaint and said, we'll get back to you. I haven't heard nothing back, because they're not even drilling where their bore marks are, like on that paper, the whole permit I got from Chris, they're not drilling anywhere near it. The one spot's like 8 feet off from where they're supposed to be. They were in the backyards just walking and marking their own lines, throwing flags down. I don't know. And there's shovels laying around, there's broken handles from where they break stuff and they just leave it. There's holes. Like I said, this one hole is 2 foot deep, 3 by 2. 3 foot long, 2 foot wide, 2 foot deep, and it's just completely open, and it's that spot where everybody walks through that backyard by the church, between Spring Drive and the church on Wilburn. Behind
across from your mom?
Yeah. And that's a high traffic zone, you know, area, and it's still just wide open. And then Sheila's got a big hole in her backyard. I don't know where to go. I don't know if we should get together and have Charles reach out and say, hey, this needs addressed, or what?
Sometimes you get a letter from a lawyer to get your attention, a lot more than phone calls from us. And if it's been 2 weeks.
It's been longer than that.
Yeah, it's been.
Time, I think we gotta do that.
It's you're going on, what, a month and a half?
February 10th at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I even talked to one gentleman who was supposed to be, his name was Connell, Quentin Connell. And he said, Steve, don't worry about it. And he gave me the old thing.
Sounds like sales.
The check's in the mail, and I almost gagged, you know. And that was a month ago.
We've also, when the fire happened on Bright Drive, the police chief had to get involved because those guys didn't want to give their information after an incident. So it's not been a pleasant process. And I wasn't even really that involved. Like, he had to go and show up on scene to assist his officers with getting information for something simple. So I got the totals right here. It's $2,165, and like I said, if that was out of my pocket, I wouldn't be happy. So I don't know. What do you think, Charles? What we should do, or?
This is an internet company?
Yeah, so the contractor, I don't know the name of the contractor, I'll have to look it up, because it's Brightspeed that is doing the project. They contracted it out to another company, and on the permit, the company's name is different from the guy that I was given as the top guy.
It's Rodney.
Yeah, Rodney is not the one listed on the permit though, for the contractor.
I got the contractor's company's name that did it, if it's the same one that hit the gas line.
That would be the boring company.
Oh, that's not the one you need.
Well, that's the one that did it, but I was told to contact Rodney from Brightspeed. So Brightspeed, I called Holly from Brightspeed, and she's like, oh my, let me, you know, she acted very concerned. She had Rodney call me, and that's when, because I tried to call the number that was listed underneath Holly's as the applicant for the contractor. And when I called that number, he didn't answer. Holly gave me, or had Rodney call me. Rodney said, I am the head guy over everybody. I subcontract out. So my subcontractors would have been the ones that would have been doing the boring, and then they'd come back and do the cleanup and fixing the issues. And I said, well, we don't want them back. Obviously, they're not very friendly with our police department. They're just throwing stuff wherever they want. He said, I'm getting rid of them. I'll have another company come in and do the cleanup. And then once I started getting the issues coming in, I've been forwarding them over, but it just seems like I'm gonna tell you what you wanna hear kind of thing and go about my day.
Yeah, we need to get some kind of, action going, because obviously this is not working.
So you're not gonna come back to Windham?
I don't know.
Typically, it's a private lawsuit, which would be a small claims case.
Right.
You can file. Not the village, but the individual.
Now, since we kind of sort of started the project, is that something we want to jump on board and help our residents out with? Because they didn't ask Brightspeed to come in. I mean, we kind of.
It's a question of whether or not you'd have standing to do that.
Oh, okay.
I don't have the answer to that.
Can we get that answer?
At some point, yeah. Not tonight.
Well, obviously. I don't want to.
I mean, I think the cleanest way would be for the individuals to file, right off the top of my head, would be to file a small claims lawsuit. Which they're gonna be very sympathetic in Ravenna to an individual who's having property damage from a contractor. I can tell you Magistrate Smith will be he's gonna look at them and say, what are you doing? The question is, where are they located? Who did it? That sort of thing. So it's a lot of legwork to figure out what company is liable. If there's multiple companies, and you serve them all.
Right.
That's the issue.
I just think as a village, we should do the legwork and we should be the ones starting, because I don't know your situation, but as a resident, to have to go down to the courthouse, follow all the legal paperwork, get a lawyer, pay for those fees, it's not fair in my opinion, but I'm just one council member.
I agree with you.
I agree.
I don't know, and I don't, like I said, I'm not a lawyer, you don't have the answer today, so I don't know what we should do, but I think we should.
Well, I need the information of really what happened here. I know the broad stroke, which is
Right.
Someone had an internet company come in to probably put some high-speed wires in. They've caused some damage to properties, unfortunately. Who's the company? What's their address? Are they local? Are they out of state? Are they using subcontractors? Who are the subcontractors? Where are they located? What's their address? What's their contact information? Are these legitimate LLCs? Are they somebody else? I don't know the answer to any of that.
Chris, can you get him?
I would recommend to go straight to Brightspeed. If they sub it out, that's on them, don't you think, Mac? I mean, they're the ones who we kind of permitted.
Asking me questions.
Huh?
You're the one who permitted it, so.
No, I'm saying, but Brightspeed is the one, I would go to them and they're gonna have to figure this out. Cause we permitted them to come in and, you know.
I'll get you what I have. If you could get
It's a good
him
start, and
a
then once I
copy.
get that, I can start.
Yeah, let's do that. David, get what you can get from, what's his name? Rodney. Get what you can get. Chris, whatever information you have, you guys get that to Chuck. We'll go from there.
Okay.
Whatever we don't have, I'll make some phone calls. I can make some choices.
Is this under utilities though too, or no? Is this something different than utilities?
It's a whole separate project.
But it's a utility.
It would
so
fall
I'm
under
not-
utilities.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
yes, it would fall under utilities.
We'll get it, we'll get it going.
So, I have one concern, so in the meantime, should I just kinda do the best I can to be patient, before I put in my own plan of action?
I would give it a little bit now. Like I said, I'll come down and talk to you. We'll get it straightened out.
Yeah, I think if we could use our legal.
If we can help you, we can help you. If not, then yeah, go ahead and do what you gotta do.
Well, I would appreciate any, ideas or, you know, suggestions, guidance, whatever, because, I just wasn't brought up that way. When I do something, I square it away. And these people are elusive. The phone numbers on the side of the truck, their email address, it doesn't work, nothing works. And, I know they're from Missouri, I mean, they're here and they're gone, like, you know, a feather in the wind. And, I don't know, I just think it's very inconsiderate and ignorant on their part. I don't know how these people came into our village in the first place. They shouldn't have been allowed in here, and I always thought when people came into a village, they had some kind of a insurance policy, to cover them whenever, if they screwed up. What about that? What happened to that insurance policy, or doesn't it exist? I don't know.
Did they register with the village?
Ryan got them to do that, right?
Yes, well, the company that come in and hit it did.
They're doing the boring, so did they give their all their company information?
I have his name, his phone number, and his company name, that's what I was saying. I have the guy that did it, I have the subcontractors.
But my question is, like, when they register with the village, is there a form that they fill out that just like puts their insurance down and everything else?
I don't know what it consists of, Marie takes care of that, but there is a form and they do register with the village, and they did, I made him do it.
Okay.
He did come in and Marie, informed me that he did come in and do it, so.
Just from my knowledge, when we allow contractors to come in, are we asking for their license and bonded information?
It should be in that form.
Should.
So that's another form we should get updated to make sure everything's on there and have Charles review it to make sure everything's on there, so that if we get in a situation like this next time, we take that form and we send it over to Charles, here, we're done, this is what we have, here you go. So that way we're not scrambling to find everything, calling people who don't answer and everything else.
Was there a contract, there was no contract between Bryce Speed and us, was there?
No. Just the permit that Chris issued.
And they started this back in, what, Manaway or something?
They're all over the place right now, all
Yeah,
of
it's
them.
all over. New Falls had it all ran through last year and the year
Because
before.
they bought Embark, was it Embark? And then it was
CenturyLink.
upgrading CenturyLink, so they was upgrading that, I think that's how they.
Because one question I had for, you know, not to dismiss your thing, but one question I had was, they're coming through and running all new things, running new boxes, all this stuff for Brightspeed, for fiber, cause that's the future. What about all the old towers and boxes from the United Telephone Company was before CenturyLink bought them? Is that all just gonna be left and abandoned in people's backyards?
Probably.
You know, cause that's all old phone lines and ancient technology, like, that's something we should, hey, you gotta remove this stuff because you're bringing more stuff in, you should be taking out the old stuff.
That's like a whole Portage County deal right now, and Summit, I think, too. So it's a big problem everywhere.
Yep.
Well, there should be information to be had if they're doing this big of a project.
The only thing I got was that permit, and I got a digital copy, which I can send you very easily,
Yeah.
instead of trying to scan that, cause that was a nightmare. But on the zoning permit itself,
Yeah.
on the second page, I think it is, underneath that top paper, it just says Holly and who is
Yeah.
the contractor?
The contractor, I got his number, you say you got all that?
Yeah.
Chris Rupert,
Yeah, Chris Rupert.
the door technicians, yeah.
But did they
technical,
answer the phone?
technical service.
If
Is
you
that
get a
what you got,
woman to
Ryan?
call,
I said no.
that's what
You wanna take a picture of this
they
too?
don't tend to
I
regular
gotta find it real quick.
That's the only thing that's concerning me is
Yeah,
on,
they just asked for,
on that, it
for a
says
right
Chris
away.
Rupert. But when Holly has a person call me, it's some Rodney guy.
Well, it's a whole
They
group, I
start
think,
subbing
yeah.
stuff out. But Steve, back to you, I'll personally keep calling and we'll get it done. They'll keep calling, if we can't get anything established, then we're gonna have to go the legal route and we'll help you try and direct you in the right direction to get that, along with any other people that have to do that, but this shouldn't be happening, I know that.
Well, I appreciate your concern and your offer to give me a hand here because, I don't deal with this kind of stuff, man. I'm just an everyday guy and it's like, I don't know, I feel like I'm abandoned almost, like, not from y'all, but,
I was
you
gonna
know,
say, I've been on you.
No, you and I talk in the street, man, you and I
hands.
talk in the street, you know, but yeah, it's just like, I just can't believe people, you know, it's just, I don't know, it just ain't right.
Well,
But I
unfortunately,
appreciate
yeah,
it.
that's the
Thank you.
world today.
So the guys out in the
Scams
field
run.
was the Quentin Connell. He was the foreman on the job out in it, but he was from Pangea Underground LLC. I have his phone number, but that's like, but I can get like his address and maybe his email or something.
Whoever the foreman,
Good luck.
I know, right?
whoever the foreman was that was out there the day that the garage caught on fire,
That's
I
who we
have
talked
his
to.
information.
No, that's the same person.
Yeah, so.
Cause he did it, when you said he tried to call me, I was asleep, but he did try to call me.
So this was one of the things I wanted to talk about too, of course, but I didn't mean to, were you finished? I think I started talking before you were gonna say something. Okay. And I just wanna thank David for all of his proactive work, you know, and, you know, he's obviously talked to you. No one else reached out. I mean, I sent an email, a second one, with this topic, and no one got back to me except David, and I saw that you sent something. I mean, it's like he's saying, it's like no one really cares that my dog is gonna fall in that 16-inch hole and not be able to get out. And how did they get into my yard to begin with when it's completely fenced in? And the gate is kind of hinky, and I never noticed it being out of place. So are they jumping fences? I mean, so, and I'm thinking too, ahead of time, it would be much more professional, and I know in other municipalities, if something maybe along this line is gonna happen, that the residents are notified, not just Brightspeed's doing it on Facebook. Not everybody has Facebook. But, you know, like a note on the door, they're working on your street today. Like you guys have the water hydrant things, you know, we put out. I feel like it was so unprofessional on behalf of the company, and then, you know, the village didn't step up and say, we need to let people know they're gonna be in your yards. You know, not just the devil strip, not just out in the culverts or something. You know, they're gonna jump the fence and come into your yard, you know. That's kinda
So,
crazy.
yeah, okay, so I'm in Freedom, sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
I was just gonna say, the only reason that nobody else reached out, it wasn't that we didn't care or none, because we all want you guys, we want your issues resolved in a timely manner, but we kinda, Dave accepted the position to take care of all this, so instead of like hearing two different stories, or if we didn't, it was
But
just.
I didn't even know that. Like, I just assumed, well, David, you know, he's pretty proactive anyway in helping situations, so I just assumed he did the whole thing.
He said he would take care of it, he'd be the one to deal with all
So,
this,
yeah,
so
took
that's.
me out of the equation.
So I
I know that
apologize.
now.
Yeah, I apologize, but that is, you know, I will do everything I can, or help in any way I can, for sure. I spoke with you the other day, and I apologize, I didn't get back, I had Quentin's number as well, and I was waiting to get the other gentleman's, I never could find the email, but, we are involved, like anything we can do, we're gonna help David get this resolved.
So back to I don't think anyone's getting notified anywhere. And I'm gonna say now on a personal level, they did the same thing to me, tore up my driveway, and told me they'd be bringing me gravel. I have yet to see gravel, we had to pay for the gravel.
Was
But
that
I'm just saying-
before, was that before they came here?
Well, I had Spectrum tearing up my yard, so it's everywhere. I don't think anyone's getting notified. Freedom
they
didn't
never-
notify me.
They never did give us, like a schedule where they was going, and it seemed like they're just bouncing all over the place. Like,
So
it's
we've
not-
learned in case someone does this again, contractors coming into town to do whatever, we'll be a little more careful.
Yeah, especially something like this, you know, level, like if you're going underground, you know, give us a scope of work.
You called the AG's office?
No, on something separate. This was a couple years ago.
You may wanna call in regards to this.
Okay. Cause I know when I called
Because when you're dealing with multiple entities from out of state, the AG's office is typically the entity you wanna go to for.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, that was a couple years ago.
I mean, I've done multi-state lawsuits, but
Right.
I don't, the cost is excessive.
Okay.
The AG is someone who has the ability to come down on these.
And the funding.
These entities, yeah, and they have dedicated departments for it. And I don't know if you've tried the AG's office either, that might be a good idea.
No, I've just, I can't put that on my plate right now. I mean, if my electric went out, I would be making calls, but.
Because they'll look at the aggregate of the damages besides just the village.
Right.
And then contact that company.
Mhm.
So just his individual lawsuit is $2,000, that would go to small claims court, in Ravenna.
Mhm.
Yours is filling a hole, whatever the cost of that would be.
So it would be a group
Not that
effort.
there's anything, you know, not that to minimize it, it's a hole, and like you said, you can get hurt, your animals can get hurt, it's serious, and they shouldn't leave a hole. Your driveway is the same instance.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
But that would be a good place or a good phone call to make.
To continue on that, and I'll make it quick, with the easement, I called the county, they couldn't tell me where the easements were located. They said you're better off coming in and going through the books and spending your days here searching. So that was not very helpful, I think. They said that easements are put in and they don't really keep track of them that well. So when I asked, cause I said, where's the easement for essentially be now Brightspeed? And they said, good luck, for lack of better terms. Is there any way that in the future, or I should even say now, like, are they allowed to just approach people's property and enter it without, notifying the homeowner or anything like that? Especially with all this going through everybody's backyard?
They might get shot.
I don't think I would say that on
Well,
camera.
we can't cut grass without notifying, right?
I mean, I'm just asking
I
for
have
an
no
easement
idea
side.
what the easement is or what they have records of.
But on the wall side, are they allowed to enter your property
They
to
have an
attend to their easement?
The question is, they probably have access to it.
Okay. So is there something we
Probably
can?
is the key word there.
Okay, so that's something we should do research, like maybe even get like an ordinance where if they're gonna come in and do a project in the future, that they have to notify the homeowners in the area.
I don't know that they have a legal obligation.
Okay.
So Windham has some right-of-ways around here
Curtis Station.
that they don't need permission to do anything, just like Freedom has right-of-way up to my fence, like, why are you in my yard? That's their right-of-way. So there is some rules.
Right, that's what I'm saying, it's
Yeah.
hard finding where those easements
Yeah.
right of ways are.
Last thing, I just have one more little thing. So we got a resident that got hit with all this, cannot, just question now, public comment. Cannot, the village reimburse him and then they figure this out? No? Cause that's just terrible.
No, that's illegal.
You don't work like that? Oh, okay.
Y'all trying to get me booked tonight, man. I got one talking about shooting
I would be
people, one wanna
freaking
give
out.
away money, this is crazy.
No, I'm happy to write a letter to start.
Okay.
I just need to know who sent it to me.
Okay.
Contactors.
Okay.
It
some
lights a little
interest at
fire.
least.
Yeah, and he has a phone number to start with, we get an email address for that and an address, we can send out a certified letter.
Alright, so let's put heads together, try and reach out, get everybody, guess in a group effort, we can probably annoy them enough. I'm not the kindest person to talk to when I'm not feeling happy, so hopefully they'll answer. If not, I don't mind driving places either, so we'll be fine.
A letter has an effect that's a little greater than a phone call. I mean, I've done debt collection, I'd be surprised what a letter can do.
Alright, anyone else have anything? Yes, ma'am.
So we did the hole in the yard, we did the website, I mentioned sending emails, so, what was it, the first one a month and a half ago about the violation and some other things that are not getting looked at. And I intended to send it to everyone, because all the emails should be on there, but they're not. A lot of things are still not updated. I'm wondering what's going on with the website.
We're in the process, so they have to move everything over. So when our last fiscal officer was dealing with them solely, and in the process, there was stuff that she was doing that, now we have to revert over to her or me or somebody has to figure out. So we did approve for them to do that. They are gonna put in, they just contacted me, they're gonna put in a few years of, resolutions and stuff like that. So they gotta work on transferring all that stuff over. The design is done, they just have to work on transferring all that stuff over, so it's gonna take a little while. As soon as they're done, they said they'll get a hold of me. It is, I wanna say Civic Plus.
Oh, okay.
So yes, we're working with Civic Plus.
I mean, for me, I'm just thinking if you could get the contact information, like Katrina's still on there, a couple other people
Well,
on there.
the issue with that is,
They wanna do it all at once.
not to cut you off, I'm
No,
sorry.
it's
but
fine.
The issue with that was the person we have now or previously had, they were very unreliable and they're not doing that job, so that's what, and we don't have a way to personally go in there. So now with this new one, we'll have access to go in ourselves if there is an issue and do all that. So that was mainly the reason why we did this.
So you're rebuilding?
Yes.
Pretty much.
Because I was not satisfied with that. The chief just sent me something the other day on the website that was misspelled and all that. I'm like, it's been an annoyance for years. All of us have spoke about it, but it was kind of those, let's give them another chance type deals. And they did good for a little bit, and then it just went back to non-existent. So I want to get that all upgraded, and we'll see how this goes with Civic Plus. They seem to be very professional and things look good, so hopefully that's done sooner than later. But I do know right now they're working to transfer everything over, so however long that takes, that's what will be on there. And the contact information, I can get that put on the website of all the new email addresses and all that. We do have the paper somewhere floating around here, so that can be put up easily, so yeah.
Then the violation that I was asking Jamel about for a while, down there at the 4 unit.
Yes.
What's the status of that?
Well, I called the owner
Mhm.
and talked to him. He said he's gonna get his guys out there to handle it. That was a couple weeks ago. They also have a side exit that's pretty sturdy to walk down. So I wouldn't recommend anybody, that lives there, use that front one when they have that side exit so they can go to their vehicles. And that one is up to standards.
Except for the big stone that I mentioned, cause if they
Yeah,
trip
that
on
big
that's gonna hurt.
I mean,
If you fall backwards, you're gonna break your spine.
yeah,
That's not a rail, and I think they wanted to be decorative or something.
I don't know what they wanted to do, but they have
Yeah.
a rail on it. So they have one that
Oh,
you
is
can
it
hold
on the other side somewhere?
Yes, it's on the right hand side.
Okay, well
Yeah, the
still, if
left-hand
they fall
side
on
is-
that,
Yeah.
you're really gonna crack their back.
Yeah, that'd be unfortunate, but I
Mhm.
mean,
So he's.
you gotta just walk normal, use 3 points of contact.
Yeah,
Probably would
but
work.
like, for my loved one, as you mentioned, that lives there, and I don't know the status of the other people.
Yeah.
They're off ballots. So
They're
maybe
all
he doesn't
valid.
grab that rail and he goes this way, or he, you know, or visitors even, right? I mean, there's 4 different tenants with deliveries being made, people coming to see him, it's exponentially more people at risk.
Yeah, there's always those.
Well, I'm glad you called. I'd
Right.
like to keep track of it,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, not
No,
just
no,
for
no.
him, but for me, if I go walking along there or
Right,
whatever.
right.
So how many rails are on that front one?
Just the one on the side that goes like.
Just the one on the
this big.
side.
So
in
it
the
would be
front.
the same as going down the other way,
Yes,
right?
but the one is, yeah, the other one is smaller, it's, way more sturdier, it's newer.
Right, yeah, that,
It has a rail and it has, slip guards on it too. So it is the safest route out of there, but that front porch, I understand the exit from the front porch is wide. It comes up with the sidewalk to come straight up there, I could see where that, but for right now, till they handle and do their end,
Mhm.
they should probably just use that side exit, that would be best.
Well, someone needs to tell him that. I mean,
Yeah.
did he? I mean,
Yeah, I'm not sure if you did.
it's kinda like Bright Speed, just doing what they want. I mean, like, people don't know that railing is not sturdy and they grab it. UPS, whoever, you know?
Right. Yeah, no.
They're usually pretty strong, though, they're probably not grabbing a rail.
I don't know.
And then, Chris was mentioning the permits, and I mean, I think that's great, people are doing things for their homes or whatever, but what have we made any moves regarding the first email that included that particular hazard, and you mentioning other things that are looking really bad, have we visited properties? I mean, cause I thought, well, I'll take some pictures, like the car in the front yard parked with the tarp over it. I mean, there's a specific code says don't do that, and it's not that old. And boats in the yard, and it's just all, and the moss on, I mean, like down by Ryan, the building down there is covered, you know, and I see a pool, guys just falling in on it stuff. There are rules for that, and when it's not getting done.
It's just starting to look like a junkyard, I think.
what,
Trying to
no,
get it.
and what I mentioned to Chris is, I'm gonna personally ride around with her and whoever, myself, we're gonna look at the stuff. It's gonna get handled, so.
I mean, there's a tub in somebody's front yard, and I know that, I think they're trying to make a design idea there, but it's a tub. I don't know, and right now, there's nothing in there, so it's a tub, and a toilet on the steps, so. It's lawn art, okay.
That's what they call that.
Now, we'll get that taken care of. The weather's starting to break, so people have no excuse not to clean up or straighten up whatever they have, so we'll get on it.
And I don't know if you have rules that say, you know, power wash at least every 3 years. I mean, I don't know how you got.
That's something I do wanna get,
You know.
try and get it done.
Cause there's some that haven't been done in 10, you know, I mean, you can look and see, we're all smart enough.
You know, about that, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, I'm fine.
I was talking to someone about that, and until we get a resolution, I was wondering if they was to read their meter, if we can give them a break like we do when they fill their pool, to give them an incentive to pressure wash their house, say, okay, we'll knock off the wastewater because it's not going, you know what I mean, it's not going, like, just like we do when we fill a pool. And that may give them a little bit of an incentive to, you know, I don't know, just.
How many times can I wash my house in a month?
Read the meter, you can do it as much as you want.
I got 3 things that'll be quick, I promise.
Yes, sir.
One thing.
Hold on real quick, Sheila, were you done?
For today, I'm done.
You sure?
Go ahead.
We were gonna sell water. Do we need a resolution? I know you said in the committee, I just wanna make sure with Charles here that it was good to go. Like, do we establish rates, or do we use our current rates?
We're using our current rates.
Okay, and we don't need a resolution or an ordinance to be able to sell? Okay.
That's up to a meter, just like a home, if I'm understanding correctly.
Yes, a
Okay.
2-inch meter with a certified backflow preventer.
Okay, and we have is that what that is laying there?
Yeah, that's actually
It's on the other
his.
side.
Yeah, that's his, he brought it in,
Okay, so we're not supplying anything.
just the meter, but he gave us, a security deposit for it.
Okay, yeah, we can get that back. I just wanna make sure we
No.
wouldn't have to buy any equipment or anything.
Well, the way we're gonna do it, the way he wanted to do it was whatever he gave us for the security deposit, it would go towards his, the balance, whether he, like say if it was $800, we give him $200. If it's $1,200, he gives us $200 and keep the 1,000. But,
Right.
yeah.
The flock camera contract. I know we talked about that. Have we gotten any headway?
I've sent emails to Flock, I've tried to call Flock, I talked to one of the representatives who was gonna get me in touch with another representative. We're still up and running, so.
Have we received a bill?
We did get a bill, I gave it to the school, because the school officially is the one that signed the contract.
Okay, so we're not gonna go to collections as a village?
No.
Okay. The website, do we have an agreement with them, or was it a handshake? Like, what do we have with the website people, so we establish how much we're paying and maintaining and stuff like that?
There's a contract, like I said, Nicole handled all that when she was here, so I will have to dig that up. I believe there's a folder, I believe, in there. So yeah, we'll have to look it up and I'll just bring it next meeting.
Okay.
That's your 3 things.
That's 3.
All right, anyone else? All right, we're gonna move on to the calendar. Well, the committee of the whole will be April 8th at 6 p.m. I won't be here, but you guys don't need me, so go on to the Guardian's home opening. So
I will not be able to make any of the Tuesdays,
I'll try to see that.
that's an issue or not. Track meets on every Tuesday anyway.
Other than that, everyone else good?
Yep.
Sure.
Not me. Yeah, I'm good.
So we'll keep that. Barney, well, no, that's what it is. So I was waiting for the 8th.
Okay.
All right, April 22nd for a council meeting.
After following the public.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, the
Planning Commission.
Planning Commission, yeah. So we have the Planning Commission at 6 to begin.
We'll just say like 6:10 to put a time on it.
Then 6:10, we will start our council meeting. Got that? Alrighty.
Yep, all right. Good. All right, 7:18, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the regular council meeting. Scott?
Yes.
Jerry, yes. Cheryl?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Marilyn?
Yes.
I need